Hello noobs, in this video I'm going to be going over all of the new limited items and all my future predictions for them within the next 6 months and year. So first things first, the Sinister S, I feel like this is going to sit right around 20k value and like 17k wrap 6 months from now, and I think maybe it'll raise to 24k value. It'll stay right around the 20s for a while. It's not great, it's okay, it looks okay. It's nothing special. Now Tentacles Jr., aka TJ, is another story. At first, it was going down the same path as Sinister S, it was dropping, then it got really hyped, and now it's doing absolutely amazing. I think long term, it's going to be right around BM or BBM, so around that 100-105k range. But right now, it's probably going to raise to around 120k. It is very hyped right now. But in the future, I see it around 110k-ish. Now the Poison Horns of the Toxic Wasteland, aka just Poison. Right now it's 340k value, and it's just like a really solid item. When it came out, it was like 290k value, and it has risen. Right now it is at 340k value, and it has risen since, because before it was 290k value. And the wrap is more than the value. It's a horns. It's one of the horns, like the frozen horns or fiery horns. You know it's gonna do good. It doesn't have a ton of copies, and overall, it's just a really solid item. And I feel like in 6 months, it'll hit up to around 380k, and in a year, I think it'll be around 420k, right around where Frozen is right now. The Maker Wrench Pack, right now it's at 30k wrap. I think in the future, it's going to be around 30k value, maybe 25k wrap. And in a year, I think it's going to stay the same, maybe go up 2k, maybe go down 2k, but it's right around a 30k item realistically. It's not great, it just doesn't have a ton of copies. It's okay. It's really just okay. Now, we're gonna do these two together, the Bay Area Maker Top Hat and the Maker Fedora. Both of these items are okay. They're pretty high wrap right now, but they don't really get good OPs. They're decent looking. The Maker Fedora looks pretty good. The Top Hat looks average at best. I could see them being around 200k in the future, but that's kind of maxing out. I realistically see it around 150k each in 6 months and maybe 160k in a year. But I think it's going to continue to go down. Next, I'm going to just group in all 7 of these items here because they're all kind of similar types of items. They're all pretty small items with a decent amount of copies that look okay. I see the smallest ones staying around 1k and the bigger ones, such as the Bombastic Sword 8-bit Rainbow Top Hat, being around 3k, and the Midsummer Cape and the Friday the 13th Top Hat being around 2k. Basically where they're at right now, they're okay, not great. They're basically just small. And that also has to do with the Springtime Sword Pack, another 1500-ish item, just a small. Then we got the Blue Sparkle Time Bandana, aka BSTB. Right now it's 310k wrap. It is very, very nice looking, but right now it has been on the decline. It was hyped at one point, but now it's not doing so good. I think it is going to get a little bit more hyped again. So I say in 6 months, it's going to be around 300k value. And in a year, I think it's going to be 320k value. It is a 300k item legitimately. Not a ton of copies, and it looks really good. But it just doesn't look much better than a Classic Fedora. So I can't really see it being much over 300,000 because Classic Fedora isn't over 300,000. In my opinion, I think it should stay right around 300,000. It shouldn't really be around 400k in the future. Next up is the Tickets Tie. Again, a small item. Okay, a stupid amount of copies, 1k wrap. That's where it's going to be. Now this is the Blizzard Beast Mode Bandana. I expect it to be like a small, like 1k, but it's actually not doing horrible. I could see it in 6 months being like 5k, and in like a year being like 7 or 8k. Maybe even getting valued to like 9k. It's actually not too bad, and it actually looks decent. Next is the Mortal Sword of Vlad's Lament, aka just Vlad. It's at 70k value right now. It was pretty hype coming out. Still gets good OPs like 10k. 6 months I could see it being around 80k-ish. I don't think it's an 100k item in 6 months, but I could see 80 to 90k. And in a year, I can see it being 95k. Maybe just maybe 100k, but I'd say 90s for sure in a year. It's a pretty solid item, it looks good, not too many copies, it's just pretty solid all around, but it's nothing amazing, it's just a good 90k-ish item. Next is just the normal Silverthorn Antlers. I think that and the Blizzard Beast Mode Bandana are going to be basically the same. I think they're going to take the same path, except I think Silverthorn Antlers is going to do a little bit better. I think it's going to get valued a little bit quicker. I think it's going to be a slightly higher wrap. Next is the big silverthorn antlers. At one point they were hyped, and I made a lot of profit off of them, so I do have a little bit of bias. But realistically, they're dying now. I see them around 80 to 90k value in 6 months. I'd say 90k, and in a year I could see it being 100, maybe 110k. It is a little bit better than Vlad. It could get hyped again and go up to 150k. But right now, seeing it on the decline, I'd say it's just a 90 to 100k item. But it could definitely rebound. It definitely has the potential to. Alright, last 7 items here. The big head, just like the Blizzard Beast Mode bandana, it's decent, good demand, 3.5k wrap right now. But I don't think it's going to get valued in a year. I think it'll take maybe like 2 years for it to get valued. It's decent, it's okay. 8k wrap in a year, 5k wrap in 6 months. It's fine. It's cool, everyone likes it. Next up, Tix Folk, the biggest item that's been released so far. Right now it's 3.25 million, but it is getting low balls in trades. So when it does get valued right away, it's going to be around 3 million, maybe 2.8 million. And the thing is, I just don't think this is better than Emerald Folk. Like, I straight up don't think it's better than Emerald Folk. So if it starts out higher or just as high as Emerald Folk, I think Emerald Folk is going to either surpass it by raising, or Tix Folk is going to go down. Personally, I think it's going to stay right around the 2.8 million range in 6 months, and it might crack 3 million in a year, but that's I kind of doubtful about that. I'd say around 2.6 to 2.9 million realistically. Now we have Chartreuse Pierceron Crown. I love Pierceron Crowns. I have a whole group about it. It has almost 800 members. This looks really fire. 7k wrap. It's not going to be valued because its counterpart is not, and it doesn't have enough demand to be valued, at least right away. In 6 months, I don't see it being valued, but I see it being a solid 10k wrap item. And in a year, I don't see it being valued still. I see it being right around the same as Pierceron Crown right now, probably 15k wrap item. It's nice, it has better demand, but it doesn't look as good. And even though the demand is higher, it does have more copies, which does kind of hurt it. It's fine. It looks very nice. Now the DIY Clockwork is ugly, but for some reason it has 3.3k wrap. I see it going down the same road as Big Head. Even though it's very ugly, people for some reason somewhat want it. So yeah, same thing as Big Head. It's okay, I guess. Then the new Gucci bags, smalls, average, just like the other Gucci bags. Nothing special. 1k smalls, you know, average, nothing special. Then lastly, at the time of recording this video, the Sleepy Brown Sloth. I actually did get this item on my alt. Not too many copies, so it's gonna stay around the 1500 range for wrap. Right now it's around 13.5. And that's pretty much what we're going to see consistently over the next 6 months. It just doesn't have enough copies for it to be a small, but it doesn't really look good. So I'd say 1500 in 6 months, and maybe it'll reach 2k in a year. But for now, that's it. Bye, noobs.